Could it be true? Could the Golden State Warriors, a franchise synonymous with stability, with a core that has defied the odds and rewritten history, be on the verge of the most audacious, earth-shattering gamble in modern NBA history? The whispers are growing louder, the speculation reaching a fever pitch. Are the Dubs truly prepared to dismantle their dynasty, to part ways with a four-time champion, all for the chance to acquire a $175 million dominant force who could redefine their future? This isn't just a trade rumor. It's a seismic shift, a potential move that could either cement their legacy as the greatest dynasty of all time or send them spiraling into an uncertain future. The Golden State Warriors, ever the masters of strategic patience, waited until the 11th hour this offseason to make any significant moves. Their biggest splash, the signing of veteran big man Al Horford, was a clear signal. They're leaning into experience, embracing a roster that now stands as one of the oldest in NBA history. Despite the graying temples and the accumulated mileage, the message from the Bay Area remains unwavering. They plan to compete for a championship with Stephen Curry, the undisputed maestro, still at the heart of everything they do. But even the most optimistic fan has to wonder, how much longer can this core truly contend at the highest level? The Western Conference is a shark tank, teeming with young, hungry talent and established powerhouses. If the Warriors find themselves struggling to keep pace, if the midseason grind reveals cracks in their veteran armor, then the front office might be forced to consider the unthinkable. This isn't about incremental improvements. This is about a fundamental reshaping, a desperate, yet potentially brilliant, attempt to extend their championship window. Fansided's Matt Moore recently articulated this very sentiment, suggesting that if the Warriors aren't performing up to par by the halfway point of the season, a monumental trade could be on the horizon. You fundamentally reshape your entire future instead of trying to sneak out one more title, Moore stated. It buys you time to reconfigure and extend your success and avoid a post-Steph rebuild. He then dropped the bombshell, the name that sends shivers down the spine of every NBA fan, Giannis Antetokounmpo. Moore's proposed trade is nothing short of a blockbuster, a deal that would send shockwaves across the league. The Warriors, in this hypothetical scenario, would send Draymond Green, Moses Moody, Brandon Podziemski, Buddy Hield, and 2 first-round picks to the Milwaukee Bucks. In return, the two-time MVP, the Greek freak himself, Giannis Antetokounmpo. Let's be brutally honest. From the Warriors' perspective, this is an astronomical price to pay. You're giving up a franchise icon in Draymond Green, the defensive anchor, the emotional leader, the fiery heartbeat of 4 championship teams. You're sacrificing promising young talent in Moses Moody and Brandon Podziemski, players who represent the future, the potential bridge to the post-Curry era. You're also parting with a proven shooter in Buddy Hield and 2 valuable first-round picks, assets that could be crucial for future roster building. It's a lot to give up, essentially trading in all of your depth for one player. But then you consider the name, Giannis Antetokounmpo, and suddenly the calculus shifts. Moore's argument resonates with a profound truth. You can't justify moving one of your franchise icons for almost any player. Giannis is not just any player. He is a force of nature, a singular talent who can dominate a game on both ends of the floor like few others in NBA history. The thought of pairing Stephen Curry, the greatest shooter the game has ever seen, with Giannis, arguably the most dominant interior force of his generation, is enough to make any basketball purist salivate. Imagine the possibilities. Curry's gravity, his ability to pull defenders 30 feet from the basket, would open up the paint like never before for Giannis. No more clogged lanes, no more triple teams collapsing on him the moment he crosses half court. He would have acres of space to operate, to unleash his devastating drives, to finish with thunderous dunks. And on the flip side, Giannis's ability to attack the rim and draw multiple defenders would create endless kick-out opportunities for Curry and other shooters. The offensive synergy would be breathtaking, a pick-your-poison nightmare for opposing defenses. Furthermore, the Warriors have recently acquired stretch big men like Quinton Post and Al Horford. This is crucial. These players provide the spacing needed to truly unlock a Curry-Giannis partnership. No longer would the Warriors be forced to play a traditional, non-shooting big man alongside Giannis, which has sometimes been an issue in Milwaukee. With Horford and Post, the floor is spread, allowing Giannis to operate in space and Curry to find open looks. This trade, in theory, works because the Warriors would have the necessary complementary pieces to maximize Giannis's unique talents. Now, let's turn our attention to the Milwaukee Bucks. Why would they even consider trading a player of Giannis's caliber? The prompt suggests the Bucks seem to be struggling with Giannis, and a reset like this could help them reshape for the future. This is a critical piece of information. If the Bucks are indeed struggling, if the current iteration of their roster isn't delivering the desired results, then a bold move might be necessary. Trading Giannis would be an admission of failure, a concession that their current path isn't leading to another championship. But it would also provide them with a treasure trove of assets to kickstart a comprehensive rebuild. In this scenario, the Bucks would acquire Draymond Green, a veteran leader and defensive mastermind who could mentor their young players and instill a championship mentality. More importantly, they would receive Moses Moody and Brandon Podziemski, two young, promising guards with high upside. Moody has shown flashes of brilliance, while Podziemski has impressed with his all-around game and basketball IQ. These players, along with the 2 first-round picks, would become the building blocks for the Bucks' future. It would be a painful but necessary reset, allowing them to replicate what Antetokounmpo did for the team, building around young talent and draft capital. The emotional toll on Milwaukee fans would be immense, but the strategic logic for a struggling team is undeniable. It's a chance to hit the reset button, to acquire assets that could accelerate a rebuild and potentially lead to sustained success down the line. The question for the Bucks would be, are they truly struggling enough to part with a generational talent? Only time and their performance leading up to the trade deadline would tell. If the Warriors were to propose this trade midway through the season, it would undoubtedly have the potential to be one of the biggest trades in NBA history. We're talking about a deal that rivals the likes of Wilt Chamberlain to the Lakers, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar to the Lakers, or even Kevin Durant to the Warriors. It would be a move that fundamentally alters the landscape of the league, creating a new super team in the West and sending a clear message that the Warriors are not content to fade quietly into the sunset. The stakes are incredibly high for both franchises. For the Warriors, it's a desperate, yet exhilarating attempt to extend their championship window and give Stephen Curry one more legitimate shot at a title. It's a gamble on the idea that two transcendent talents, even if one is past his prime, can still overcome the challenges of age and depth. For the Bucks, it's a painful acknowledgement that their current path isn't working, and a bold leap of faith into an uncertain future, hoping that a collection of young talent and draft picks can eventually replace the irreplaceable. This isn't just about basketball, it's about legacy. It's about the courage to make an unpopular decision for the sake of future glory. It's about the relentless pursuit of greatness, even when the odds seem stacked against you. The trade deadline is looming, and the NBA world holds its breath. Will the Golden State Warriors make the move that sends shockwaves through the league? Will they dare to dream of a Curry-Giannis tandem, a duo that could redefine offensive and defensive dominance? What do you think, basketball faithful? Is this the kind of audacious move the Warriors need to make to stay relevant? Would you sacrifice a franchise icon like Draymond Green for a chance at Giannis? And for Bucks fans, would you be willing to part with your superstar for a chance at a full rebuild? Share your passionate opinions in the comments below. Let's get this conversation going. If you're as hyped about this potential blockbuster as we are, hit that like button and subscribe to the channel for more exclusive insights and analysis. Your engagement fuels our coverage, and we can't wait to hear what you have to say. Until next time, keep those basketball dreams alive.